Oh, Chris Derrick's training. Must have posted a workout video or something. No. No. No, no.
Uh, yeah. I'm here to change the game.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Running Through It YouTube page, and some decently huge news dropped this morning that Chris Derrick announced on his Instagram page that he's dropping out of the London Marathon. 2 weeks ago. That's tough. Tells you that things must be pretty bad to be this close and for him not to try to gut it out, although maybe smart. This is a shot from the finish line of the New York City Marathon this fall. As the spittle on my face so charmingly indicates, I was a shell of a man, wrecked by the course and the distance. It would be a lot easier to list what didn't hurt and what did. At the moment, I'm comfortably sitting in my kitchen sipping coffee, but I feel much, much worse than I did in November. As I had to tell you that I'm withdrawing from the London Marathon next week. This January and February I was doing the best marathon training of my career, which, side note, is always a cause for concern. There's like that idea of running the edge, right? That was the Adam Goucher book. But running the edge is the edge between peak fitness and injury is razor thin. Razor thin. The mileage was high. The legs, though not feeling good exactly, were strong. In a telltale sign of impending doom, I was looking lovingly at my training log. Then I inevitably got greedy and pushed a sore plantar fascia too far. I tried for 6 weeks to preserve my fitness and make it to the start line in London. If you watched the Atlanta 10K, Chris Derrick running in 29 minutes and he didn't look like he was pushing it too hard, I think this is why, because he was running on a sore plantar fascia. Wanted to get the course in to get a preview for Atlanta next year. But, moving on. In the end, my foot just couldn't hold up under the strain. I've been taking some downtime and will try to build back up healthy for an early fall attempt and most importantly, the marathon trials next winter. Fobbs and Wardy, tremendous runs in Boston yesterday only make me more anxious to redouble my efforts to be a great marathoner. I've learned and relearned and relearned, and hey, did you actually learn the first 5 times that I need to direct the effort into being disciplined and intelligent, as opposed to being focused on really impressing my teammates with my weekly mileage. One final bit for any youngsters out there that read my Icon DeVries told me that the most dangerous time as an athlete is after a big breakthrough in training or racing, when you're firing on all cylinders, and not just dreaming of big things, but beginning to think you're destined for them. That's when it becomes incredibly hard to take a step back, ruin the hot streak, and rest. However, the devil, and maybe some of your tendons, will have his or their due. Greed, despite what you may have heard, is bad. It's damn good advice, and maybe I'm finally going to listen to it. So let's talk about Chris Derrick a little bit. I've been so ready for a Chris Derrick breakthrough race for so long. Since he won USA Cross Country in St. Louis, I was there to watch him, and it was awesome. He's been my favorite runner for a long time. Severely underrated. Probably the greatest runner to have never won an actual US title. A cross country title and NCAAs, outside of his USA cross country title, because I don't know if I would consider that major at this point. Severely underrated. However, he always seems to get hurt at the worst possible time. So, London, you can run fast there. And that's what they were going for sure. And if his training was going as well as they said, then who are we to not believe that? But, this is the worst time for this to happen. Why is this the worst time? Because, with whatever's happened to his plantar fascia, so I'll speculate on that later. Whatever the recovery time is, he has to aim for an early fall marathon so that he can take time off and get ready for the Atlanta buildup. Why does he need an early fall marathon? Because he doesn't have the Olympic standard yet. He's outside the qualifying window. He did not run up to his standards in New York last year, running 2:11:50 and then running 2:12. He needs to get that done. He needs to run a fast fall marathon, and then he needs to get ready for Atlanta. He doesn't have the Olympic trial qualifier, or he doesn't have the Olympic standard yet. Which, if we are to believe what USATF has said, that you're going to need that in order for them to send you to Tokyo. That top 3 isn't necessarily going to matter if you don't have that standard yet, that A standard, which is the tough one to grab. And if the only races that he has in the qualifying period so far is nothing in 2019 yet. He ran. The frustrating thing about Chris Derrick is that last year in Pittsburgh in May, he ran a 62:37.5. So you think that he should definitely be able to run a 206, 207 on a comparable course, 207 high, or 207 low, 206. He should be in the lead. Like, Chris Derrick's talent should put him in that lead pack with Galen Rupp, with Fauble now, with Ward now. This is tough. This hurts. As a fan of Chris Derrick, as a fan of the sport, you should be watching London, wanting to see Americans do well. But now, you're one American down as Chris Derrick has dropped out. So even though London will be exciting, as someone with a primarily American audience, as someone who has a big USA running fan, with eyes on Tokyo, in the men's marathon, you don't have much there. You can focus on Eliud Kipchoge, which is great all into itself, but from an American aspect, there's nothing there. Although, there's still a lot to be excited about. On the women's side, you still have Molly Huddle, you still have Emily Sisson, who I'm extremely excited about. But it puts Atlanta in question, it puts Tokyo in question. Now, 10-ish months to Atlanta. There's still time. The plantar fascia is hard to recover. Let's go into it. So he said he had a sore plantar fascia. Plantar fasciitis, that's the first thing I think of. It's a tough thing to deal with. Recovery protocols range from rest, not doing anything, to keep training on it and getting cortisone shots, to he's working with the top sports therapy guys, sports therapy doctors there are. I think back to, as a St. Louis sports fan, Albert Pujols had a really, really bad case of plantar fasciitis towards the end of his tenure in St. Louis, and I think it still plagued him in Anaheim. That really never went away. One of those things that he just had to deal with for a big portion of his career before he finally had surgery on it. It's a bad one. There's a lot of people's running careers who have ended because of plantar fasciitis. Now, is it simply a sore plantar? There's various grades, because you can have sore plantar, have it not be plantar fasciitis. But if he's dropping out of London, if he's been dealing with this for 6 weeks now, leads me to believe that that's what it is, and it isn't recovering as well as he wants it to. So what's going to happen? Is he going to take time off until it recovers, obviously seek treatment? Where's that going to lead him in his build-up? Because ideally, he'd run fast at London, not have to worry about a fall marathon, strictly have a long build-up to Atlanta, and aim for winning the marathon there, the US trials, at least get in top 3, and then Tokyo's on the way. I think it more cements that the top 3 at Tokyo is going to be Fauble, Ward, and Galen Rupp. I've been wrong before, so who knows. But to me, with Derrick not being ready, not having the build-up that he wants to have, as much faith as I have in Chris Derrick, as much as I love Chris Derrick as a runner, it really makes me doubt him. Now that I've seen Scott Fauble do it, now that I've seen Jared Ward do it, and of course Galen Rupp is going to be back in time and going to be ready for it. Galen Rupp's coming off an injury too, so it just makes everything a lot more interesting, more fun for me as somebody speculates with this stuff, but man, you just want everything to go perfectly, and sometimes it doesn't. Well, what you gonna do? Anyway, that's the news of the day. Thank you guys for coming back to my page. My name, of course, is Justin Horniker, and I appreciate you so much. If you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe to the page. I'm putting out more stuff. You see this is my second video this week. Come on back. I will embrace you. Anyway, if you want to hear my voice more, I also have a podcast called Running Through It, which I always link down below. You can subscribe to that as well. But anyway, keep on working hard. Be nice. Happy running. We'll talk.